What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Knackers, and today is March 21st, 2021. And
I just paid my rent. How is it already the 21st? What the fuck, man?
2021 is a quarter over. We're three fucking gumballs away from this year being over.
We still have a little over a week before it's a quarter over.
Well, just barely. Did you guys know that we're 3/4 of the way through?
I'm mansplaining you this, okay? Well, actually, I get this from my son all the time. Well, actually, Dad.
Does he do that too?
Oh, God. He mansplains me all the time. Finally, the other day, I finally had to say, look, kid, I get it. And yes, technically you're right. I'm telling you to drop. And he just looked at me and he goes, okay.
The last time that I saw, I almost said his name. Did you say his name on stream? Okay.
Frank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doxed, exposed.
I haven't seen him in probably a year, and seeing him, how tall his face is now changing, and his hair looks fucking awesome.
He's like an actual human being.
He's got long hair like his mom. His mom. He's got long, the same texture like his mom does. He doesn't have the calyx and the real fine. She's got real nice hair.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he wants it dyed, so he has it dyed like reddish. So
it looks awesome.
Like, hey. Yeah, I think it looks good.
Does he plan on keeping it that way for a while? I think so. Yeah, no intention of cutting it anytime soon.
He likes loving long hair, and honestly, I think I wish. When I was a kid, I had parents that if I'd wanted to grow long hair, I could have. I don't think they would have let me, but it would have been pointless anyway because I can't grow long hair. My hair is just not the type that can grow well long. It just doesn't look right.
Christian mother literally cried when I dyed my hair blonde and shaved a mohawk. Like, literally, she called me a selfish son of a bitch and then cried from dyeing my hair.
That's ironic, right? Because, like, it's your choice, so it's not really necessarily, I mean, her not wanting you to do it is more selfish than you doing it for yourself,
right?
You know?
Because in her defense, well, not in her defense, in her Christian defense, the first thing she probably thought about was, what are all of my Christian ladies, old ladies and old men going to think at church when my son walks in? Like, that's obviously the first thing. Is what? How am I going to explain this to people? When it's like, it's not your fucking thing to explain. But
dude, imagine our parents if they were all of a sudden exposed to like using social media and then everyone caring what they think. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like our generation is like we care about certain people's opinions, but in a mass majority of the people, we don't really give a shit, right? Like, we kind of like write them off and we're like, fuck those guys, right? Like, we'll stay to our internal group, and like, if they like what I'm doing, cool. If they think I'm a little outside of the box, then maybe I'll rein it in. But like, imagine our parents and be like, oh, fuck. All those Catholic ladies, they were tweeting at me, telling me I'm a fucking bitch. Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine if, like, religion was on the same level with, like, social media as just, like, kids these days are? Like, if there was Facebook groups and Twitter lists and Discord servers all dedicated, like, every religion, every church having a server, oh my God, that would be fucking insane.
Dude, imagine if social media was created by churches instead of like independent shitheads in their college dorms.
What if it is?
And like all of like the main media outlet, or like the social medias, were owned by church groups. How
it wouldn't have, because it wouldn't ever have been able to come off the ground.
Hey, the only relationship
I get what you're
status
saying.
on Facebook would be waiting for Jesus.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but no, that wouldn't have
You're
worked.
going to wait for a while. Well, anyways, tonight on the podcast, I have BishopGP and MiddleAgedStream. Jim Barino, how you doing today?
I'm well, man. I got the internet to work.
Hey, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Can I tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay, in 2 minutes or less. Can you time me?
Yeah. Oh, you're going to do it now.
You want to go
Yes,
now?
right
All right.
now.
This is the
Give me 2 minutes. Tell me when. You got an Apple Watch? Do you want to plug your Apple Watch?
I don't have it plugged. I don't have it on. Okay, I'll just.
You don't have it on? I have an Apple Watch Series. Whatever the latest one is.
XS.
6.
Series X.
There you go.
X. And go. Okay, so since Wednesday, I've been having intermittent internet problems, and where my internet just tanks, and couldn't figure out what was going on. I live with my in-laws. My father-in-law is a little bit of a boomer. You know, he is a boomer. But it's like the internet goes through him. We haven't had any issues for the last several months. Anyway, to make a long story short, because I have to do this under 2 minutes. For the last few days, every time there's been a problem, I say, hey, can you reset the everything? And he's like, yeah, I got it. And I was assuming that he was resetting everything. He was only resetting the router and not the modem. And today, magically, when we reset the modem, everything worked. The end. Time.
Wow. Okay. So it wasn't.
Did I make it under 2?
I wasn't
crazy.
counting.
Yeah,
I
it
was
wasn't
under
counting.
1, dude.
That's pretty good.
That's incredible. So you self-incriminated yourself. It was a boomer and an even older boomer trying to fix the internet.
Listen to me. I will take the blame because I made the assumption that when I said reset everything, he was going to reset the modem. And then when he told me today, like literally, dude, I told you I had to call. I called Knackers today because this happened to me. He knew I was dealing with internet problems, and so literally right after I found out about the whole modem reset thing and everything worked and was fine, I was like, oh my god, that would have literally been the first thing I did.
And what's funny about that call or that conversation that you would have had with double boomer Jimmy is those are the types of questions that I have to ask people when I'm on the phone with them. And because like 90% of our stuff is done remotely, having this conversation is like, okay, so have you turned the computer off? Yes. Okay, so you clicked on start and you hit shut down. Oh, no, I just turned the monitor off. Like you literally have to go that deep. And then what's also funny about that is you can ask targeted questions just for the point of seeing if they're lying. Like when you ask certain things like, when's the last time you shut down? When's the last time you updated? And then I can check and just go, oh, uptime 141 days. That's so fucking weird, Sally, you lying bitch.
You have to understand, he's my stepfather-in-law, okay? Because my in-laws are divorced. So like my son has 2 sets of grandparents on my wife's side. And so and he thinks, like, he knows computers, he builds websites. I told you he does some stuff, and he knows some stuff. Yeah. But you know what? He doesn't know what he doesn't know, and it's so hard to tell him if you already know there's an issue. Like, he immediately wanted to blame like me, like why the internet was jacked up. I'm like, he's like, oh, you and your son, you're downloading too much. I was like, no, dude, listen, this is the normal bandwidth that it takes for what we use. This is what we should have. Like I had to like put it out there, and like I felt like a lawyer in a courtroom, man, like trying to like explain all this shit to him. Like, oh my god, please.
So
for the love of God, and then he reset it, and then it worked fine, and then he called today, and basically they were like, yes, sir. When we have those issues, you should reset your modem.
Thanks. Thank you for that, by the way.
And I'm like, oh.
You know what's crazy about that? Sorry to cut you off now.
Okay.
But
no, I don't want to go on a tangent.
It literally validates the reason that every time I call tech support, they run me through the motion of resetting the modem and router.
Yeah.
Even though I do that like 4 times before I ever even call.
It makes sense because there's so many people that just don't do that. Yeah. I get it. But like literally, that's the first thing I do. But it's in the modem and the router is in like his part of the house.
Ever since you moved into the house, your goddamn Twitch streams been knocking out my goddamn internet.
Goddamn Twitch. I kid you not. I literally had to show him like on where how much bandwidth I was using when I was streaming. I had to record that. I sent it to him. So it showed like, I'm like, this is how much you get. This is how much I'm using when I'm live streaming. Just so he knew. Because he was all worried about it. He was like, well, I send large files sometimes because I'm building my websites. And sometimes I'm like, look, I swear to God, I'm not using up like I'm using up like 1/4 of your bandwidth when I'm streaming. Upload bandwidth.
Those that your stepfather is literally the worst type of customer to have as an IT person.
Oh,
because if you give them an inch of anything, they were like, oh, well, that what you did probably had something to do with this, like from 5 years ago. It's like, they're not even fucking related. It's also hilarious to me that he will try to coach you on bandwidth, but doesn't know that the modem will also need to be reset with the router.
It's one of those boomer things, sort of things. And just so you guys are aware too, I get, like, it's one of those things that when you live with in-laws and if you live with your family, these things are bound to, come up. And, it was all I could today, realizing this is the mature part of me, that I realized what I wanted to say at that moment, and that's why I had to call you. I wanted to say was, are you fucking kidding me? God! Are you fucking serious? Yeah. Is what I wanted to say when he told me. And what I said instead was, wow, well, I'm glad that you reset the modem because that's what I would have done first.
Oh, you slipped that in there.
Oh, I did. And I said, I made the assumption that that's what you were doing. And instead of just resetting the router. And that's my
I made the assumption that you were smart enough.
I said, I made the assumption that that's what you were doing. And, but from now on, that's what that would have been the first thing I did. That's what I always do if there's an internet issue. I just start from the beginning of the chain.
You basically hit him with I thought that was common sense. Like, that's what a fucking idiot would do first. But I just assumed.
I got him with the old slide picking up your hand. Oh, for
that's
sure.
my fault for assuming that you were smart enough to do that. So sorry about that.
Hey, you know what? Hey, sometimes that's how it is, man.
Yeah, man, that's how it is.
I'm sorry you feel that way after what I did to you. I'm sorry that you are feeling that certain way. So you said there's 2-step families, pretty much?
Well, basically, I mean, my son, I have a stepmother-in-law and a stepfather-in-law because my wife's parents are divorced.
How many stepsisters are there?
I have one.
He's stuck on this question.
2 stepsisters. No, 1 stepsister. No, I'm counting in law. So no stepsisters.
Do you have any front-loading laundry machines?
Shut up. You're an idiot.
Please tell me you caught what I was trying to say.
Yes,
okay.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Oh, my God.
Go to
also
hell.
on the podcast, we have Bishop GP with the house. What's going on, dude?
What's up, man? Hey, listen, Jimmy, I'm sorry about your internet, man. I feel for you. I lived in Arizona for a while. And had Cox Communications. They can go fuck themselves.
Dude,
those guys
those
are
Cox
scumbags.
is literally fucking Cox. They're literally a bunch of fucking.
They are literally fucking assholes. Fuck those guys. Go fuck yourselves, Cox. They are the worst when it comes to tech support. And I've had like HughesNet. I've had like Frontier before. Yeah, like out in different like properties in Arizona. Cox is literally the worst. They're the worst. So eat shit and die, Cox. Fuck you guys.
Oh no. Stepfather's coming in to show him who the fuck is boss.
Yeah.
Boomer v. Boomer.
Dude, this is like a fucking Tekken fight about to happen.
Dude,
just more geriatric.
I got money on the dude with the Baby Yoda shirt.
Yeah, I think so. I think the military experience, the mustache. But I don't know. Sometimes those older guys, like my dad, can still kick my ass.
Dude,
no,
dad
no
strength.
problem.
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
if I was to get like one roundhouse kick from my dad's calves, it would be fucking game over. Don't ask me why I know how big my dad's calves are. Anytime we were out and about as like a kid, my dad he only wore shorts, I feel like.
Yep.
And his calves were always fucking massive. I'm like, oh my God, how the hell do they get so big?
Fuck, dude. Those are fucking rocks, dude. It's like, and all dads feel like they have like, they've been through the ringer of like wrestling animals in their lives. Like they know how to like tie you up and like even if you're trying to like break out of their restraints, they can literally just like hold you down and you have no chance.
Yeah.
Like they know all the tricks. It's
Did
like,
your dad ever hold down both your arms with one hand and then tickle you with the other? It's literal hell.
Yep, it's hell. Yep. And then he's like,
wait,
no.
stepdad.
No, but he used to hold me down and like they get like the side right by your ribs and they're like,
yep.
they grind into your
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember the days when it was okay for my dad to spit in my mouth.
Remember the bullies back in the day? They used to like pin you down. They're like, this is a thing in movies, right? They'd pin you down and then they'd be on top and they go, right? And then like create a loogie. Dude, COVID, man. COVID's changed bullying
right,
for life,
man.
That's criminal sentence.
That is considered probably is that a felony?
Biowarfare. Probably. It's probably like some bio assault or some shit.
Bye.
Right?
Give me some of my bio, dude.
Oh, what you sipping on today? So is it,
Good question.
is there a note?
Casey didn't write a note for the specifics of the drink. It has vodka. It's a little spritzy. Here, let me try to explain it. I'll try to explain it in my best. I'm not a sommelier or a Somalian pirate. Is that what they call it?
How is
the guys
that
drink,
linked?
The guys that drink wine, Somalians?
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
what they're
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm the captain now.
called? Okay. So it's kind of like I watched this guy that does like drink tasting. He goes, ice cream.
Pure vanilla?
It's like an ice cream video. Yep.
That's a 10.
Yep, that's a 10. Yep. So it's like a raspberry tasting like spritzy drink with like vodka and a little bit of spritz. So it's kind of like a LaCroix, but like a good flavored LaCroix with alcohol in it.
Ooh, okay.
So that's the best way I can explain it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Man, the amount of LaCroix that Weenie and I go through is unreal. It's probably bad to an extent, but goddamn, it's still better than drinking pop or soda or juices and all that stuff.
Yeah, a little sody. Hey, man, listen, man. Little sody paps can't hurt anyone, man. If you're replacing sody paps like a little Coca-Cola with a little what do they call them? There's another a brand other than LaCroix. It's like Spritz or
Spindrift.
Spindrift.
Those are actually fantastic, but
I think
I don't believe that those are actually like okay. They're too flavorful to be good.
Yeah. You know that LaCroix are healthy because they kind of taste like dog shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, realistically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really refined. You need to have a refined palate to enjoy them. You know.
Uh-oh. Who do you think? Who do you think won?
Oh, he's bleeding everywhere. There's blood everywhere.
Oh my god, there's so much blood. Uh-oh. This mustache is upside down.
Oh. He's back. Welcome back. We waited for you this whole time. We didn't say anything.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You guys didn't say a word?
No. What did you get? We were just talking about sody pop. I have like some LaCroix.
I heard my wife yell, and I turned to say, "Are you okay?" And I heard her say Ray, the name of the cat. So I only assumed correctly that she got outside. So I went out. I set my wine down. I helped my wife get the cat. I refilled my wine, and I came back here.
Wait, didn't you just come back with a beer bottle? Oh, I thought it was a beer bottle. Maybe I'm a moron. Yep.
No, only the finest of boxed wines for me tonight. I'm getting crunk. I like to drink wine on the podcast because I know I'll have a couple wine and I'll get like real shitty by the end. So
Wait, only
perfect.
wine does that?
Generally, yeah, wine will get me pretty fast.
Roger. All right. We I feel like it's probably a good idea just probably get into the conversations.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a whole lot of news in the past couple weeks. I didn't check my Twitter list to kind of look, but I felt like I had some other good maybe they're not good topics. We're going to find out. And in the interest of Kick Tripod's time, so he doesn't have to stick around for an hour and a half, in case he wants to pipe in, I saw some shit being spewed today. So there was a tweet that went out from a pretty popular broadcaster, pretty much saying, I hate the GoXLR. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
here we go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I don't know anything about this.
Oh, really?
Look, I wanted to, before we get into this, I just really want to apologize about my tweet today about the GoXLR.
Did you tweet about it?
No,
Oh.
I did.
Oh, wait a minute.
I wasn't really on Twitter today, so I hadn't noticed anything.
So there's a couple different points that I want to reference regarding this entire conversation, but I kind of want to. We obviously all have our opinions, and they're all pretty much good nowadays about the GoXLR. But even though I still have my opinion, I like to jump in on other people's opinions to see what's the general feeling, because I think that there are very valuable criticisms that can be made about the GoXLR and about TC Helicon and how they've handled the support and how they carry certain things out and stuff like that. So basically the gripe was that this particular streamer's GoXLR was broken. Like, he would tap the desk and the entire thing would freeze. The app would crash. You couldn't, like, unplug and replug in things.
Yeah, it was a limit. It was a bad piece of hardware.
And it's been that way forever. And then, of course, naturally in streamer Twitter, you get all of the other people who have also had issues. And basically, reading through all the responses, it looked like a bunch of other people that also had defective units. Which, again, to this day, the fact that some people cannot fucking understand that technology is not ironclad, that if you send out 500,000 units or however many they've made, that a portion of those are going to die.
Yeah, probably a few thousand.
Oh my God. So, and obviously I read through all of those with a grain of salt. And then we go a little bit farther down and I start to see comments of the GoXLR being overpriced, being not a good tool for streamers, and then going over like other solutions that can do the same thing and why people are going back to analog. It's actually kind of crazy to see people willing to go back to the analog world and get the cable spaghetti back in their setup just because that's how unhappy they are. So when we talked about Elgato last, we talked about things that factor into the price that don't necessarily are not tangible things. And my one of my main questions that I want to ask and get your opinion on is when it comes to features that might be at the professional level or at a very technical level, do you think that things being dumbed down and reworked so that the average everyday person, do you think that should raise the value of a product? And what I mean by that is for like the GoXLR, things like noise gate, compression, EQ, all of these things that are built into the GoXLR and really fucking easy to teach somebody. Maybe not the EQ part of it. Anybody who's willing to learn could probably get a good grasp.
Well, they take part of the difficulty out of the equation with the way they chain.
Correct.
So that they have a correct audio chain for you. You just have to adjust and then readjust. But yeah.
So that's my main question. When it comes to the pricing of the GoXLR, even at $400 before the tariffs raised the prices, do you think that having something being brought to the mainstream and tweaked for a new or an unexperienced user, do you think that that should factor into the price? Because it's available for other products, but it's not really accessible to the everyday person.
I will say this. I have been streaming a long time, over 6 years. I bought the GoXLR, I don't know, maybe not even 2 years ago, about 2 years ago. I don't think that it's something that a beginning streamer should need to get. You really don't need to invest in. Unless you were very experienced. If you were somebody who was already really good with audio, video, and all that sort of stuff, and you had the knowledge already, you probably wouldn't even be using that. Maybe you'd be using something else. So I just feel like it's just not. I think one of the reasons why it has become so popular and why it was also brilliant that they put out like the Mini is that it's got the name branding that people identify with as a streaming product, and they want to, they have something that has all those things in one that you can do, like change your voice and have like little sound cues.
Mr. Jar Jar Binks.
Or something like that pop.
Yeah, you're banned. Okay,
Actually,
move on next.
super quick. I fucking hate people that don't like Jar Jar Binks. Like if I ever hear anybody say like Jar Jar Binks is the worst part of the franchise, like shut the fuck up. It's a fucking character.
It made a lot of kids
and
happy.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love Jar Jar.
Space Rabbit.
He's my favorite Star Trek guy in the entire series.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Jimmy. I just had to rant on that really quick.
No, and that's kind of where I was going with it. I just think it is my personal favorite tool that I have, but I have years of trial and error and trying to figure out audio, and I learned a lot on the way using analog hardware. If I didn't have all that experience with that, I don't know if I could tweak the GoXLR. I mean, it's a great tool. I think the reason why the cost is high is one, the branding, and two, it is a true all-in-one for most streamer situations. And that's where I found the value, because I knew I always wanted to have a single PC setup, so it wasn't going to make it very complex for my audio chain, and I always wanted to have the ability to have a all-in-one solution for changing audio levels on the fly, using a soundboard. And being able to use voice changing software hardware without, I don't technically it's software because it's through the software, but a board. I used other stuff. There was another program I used for months called
Banana? Audio Banana?
No.
Oh, the soundboard one?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a soundboard. It was a voice changer, and now I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it works.
They kind of marketed it towards streamer. It is a software voice changing program, and now I can't remember the name.
Voice Attack?
No, it wasn't Voice Attack.
I'm looking at my. It's.
Voice
I know.
Mod.
Voice Mod, yeah, Voice
that's
Mod.
one.
Girthy knows it. Yeah. Thank you.
Legendary.
Thank you, Girthy. Legendary Girthy. Yeah. It was Voice Mod, and I used that for a few months, but it just wasn't nearly as good as having a hardware solution. It just really wasn't. And I know some people can use it really well. I had a hard time using it well, and so that's when I finally decided to invest in a GoXLR, and that was about 2 years ago or so.
That's crazy that it's been that long.
I know.
All right.
But honestly, it's my favorite piece of hardware. So when you're saying people are shitting on it, I really just, all I think is they just got faulty units. They need to go through the manufacturer and hopefully get, if the unit was faulty when they got it, even if, here's the thing, if my unit went to shit now after about 2 years, I'd be like, well, I guess I got to buy another GoXLR.
Yeah.
Because it is so critical to everything that I do now. That it would be hard. It'd be a component if I were to take it out. I can't replace that piece of functionality. I think that's part of what they're dependent on too.
Yep.
If they create that, if they were to create that, they become like an Apple. I know there's what Elgato may be trying to do or whatever. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
No, these are they're all good points. I think if you rewind 2 years when you got that GoXLR, I think I started at that time, like being someone that came from a prosumer in video or like professional in video and kind of prosumer in audio, not a ton of knowledge in audio. At first glance, looking at the GoXLR, my immediate thought was like, dude, that thing's stupid. Like that's way overpriced. All of these bullet points that you hit on, overpriced, bunch of useless features. You don't need it. You can get other hardware in the market. I think like within the past 3 months, I've done a bunch of research related to audio. And what I found out is that there actually isn't a lot of options that can do all of the things that GoXLR can do. So if there's let's just say there's 5 things that the GoXLR can do that are extremely valuable. There isn't another product in the market that can do 3 of those things that at even a close price. With all of the products that you're looking at that exist in the market, you also have the learning curve of figuring out how to use these professional products as well. Like how to manage a noise gate isn't a simple thing for people that don't understand audio. Not to mention
the fact that it's literally in one
product,
software suite, one thing, one set of drivers. It's just, it really simplifies things. Yep. And for most people, it makes sense. I was reading in chat, someone Geeks was saying that the reason they couldn't have a GoXLR is they need 2 mic inputs. I think that the GoXLR, they certainly, if they were smart, they could up their production and find a way to like expand on the product for like advanced audio users with their same stuff.
Right.
I think that'd be a brilliant idea. But basically right now it's marketed toward, I'm sure they know the demographics, and I think I fit in the demographic more than you guys do for most streamers. You guys have dual PC setups, really advanced like power level PC users have a very keen understanding of that, whereas I have a very medium understanding, and that's the market.
I would almost argue, Jimmy, that for dual PC setups, the GoXLR makes more sense because the thing.
Maybe. I mean, it can work in a dual PC setup. Yeah. I'm just saying with the 2 mic situation and all that. I don't know.
So the one thing that I had a really hard time finding was a high quality solution for all of like your audio interface options. They could also route to 2 different PCs with selections. Yep. So selecting so you have your desktop audio, your microphone audio, music, whatever your inputs are going into the mixer. Coming out of the mixer, you need to decide what goes where, what you want to hear in your headset, what you want to go to the streaming PC, what needs to go back to the gaming PC, your microphone. There aren't a lot of professional solutions in the market for that sort of thing because it's usually done on these huge hardware routers, right? So realistically, like I said, rewind 2 years when I first looked at the GoXLR, I would have been like, oh, this is stupid. I can find a solution. But realistically, like you can't beat the price of the GoXLR for hardware. Like you can find a bunch of shit and Jimmy rig it, but it's the amount of features.
It's going to cost you more than $400 or $500 plus tax.
Trust me, sure. I did a ton of research to try to find the right things to fix Casey's audio problems. She was having audio problems for forever. And we, as streamers, like we know one piece of hardware that fails often on your stream will literally ruin your motivation to stream. Like it completely screws that over. And Casey and I were like, I think it was Christmas. I bought her a mixer, and we were sitting down. And I was like, for the extra cost of just going and getting a GoXLR, right? It's an extra $200 over what I had already spent on this mixer around Christmas time. I was like, does it make sense to just spend the money and quit fucking worrying about this forever? Like, not have to have any problems. The GoXLR does all these, or like solves all these problems. I don't have to buy any more hardware. We don't have to figure anything else out. You just start your stream and you get to focus on streaming. And to me, that the value is
value,
there, right?
The peace
value.
of mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. If anything fucks up, and it happens sometimes, someone in the stream will be like, "Oh, you got robot voice." I'm like, 1 second, I'll stop. I'll just restart the software, and magically, ta-da, everything's fixed.
Yep.
It's just having one where you have, if you know where all your audio components are into one thing, you know, and it is relatively stable. Like, I rarely have issues with it. So I didn't mean to derail where you were going from, Knackers, because you were starting with this, and what was
we're still on the same topic.
Yeah, people,
I know,
people are
but
shitting on GoXLR, man.
people are kind of shitting on it. So let's get back to them shitting on it. We were praising.
No,
it.
that's all right. That's all right. Because one of my main gripes is, and this is somebody who has two Behringer 1204s and a DBX 286S. When people recommend that as a replacement, there are 4 gain knobs in between your microphone and your computer, not even including the that does include the software gain knob within Windows. So when you tell people this is a different solution, it's but you also need to learn how to gain stage at 4 different points. You need to know what audio needs to be at what level at one point. And then that doesn't even, like, when you're talking about doing dual PCs with like something like a Behringer 1204 and you're utilizing aux send and FX sends, just leveling that in general can be an absolute nightmare, even for somebody like me.
Most of them are mono. Are your aux sends mono, or are they
They're mono.
stereo?
They're mono.
They're mono. So you don't get the same level of quality from those FX sends, which is what, of all the research that I did, I couldn't find a good mixer that did half of the things that the GoXLR did. Like, just routing audio is a very complicated task with dual PC setups, and I couldn't find a device that could do it well because it's such a niche thing. Like, where else in the entire production workflow do you need to take audio from one PC, send it to another PC, while also returning portions of that audio back to that first PC, and then also pushing portions of the first audio to a secondary input into the second PC? Like, it's such a niche thing that streamers, the streaming setup needs, that we've been utilizing, like on an MG10XU, the Yamaha mixer that's pretty popular. I think Harris Heller recommends that. He uses the FX send to send your microphone back to the streaming PC. And there's ways to go around this stuff, but we've been kind of Jimmy rigging this whole time. Like, if any of us stand up, and if Jimmy, if you rewinded, I know that you sold some of your audio equipment, but if you rewind, 2 years and look at the cost of how much, like, even in your audio stack now, how much value is in that stack, it's more expensive than a GoXLR, right? And it does less. I have less effects. Like, I have more control over little nitty gritty things with knobs and stuff, but I have less effects and less features within that box. I bought Casey a 286S. That's what it's called, right? Yep. The DBX. Yep. She had a Behringer mixer. We bought her a new mixer, and she had all of that hardware. And Casey's very familiar. She used to work for Apple. She's very familiar with hardware and with technology. She's not an idiot. But even that piece of hardware, there's so many places that could go wrong, right? Like with the audio setting, that it was complicated for her to figure out, especially when she's not getting direct feedback. We got her an GoXLR, and I have not gone into her room once to help her with the setup or to answer a question. She just figured it out all herself. Her streams work. She hasn't complained about audio
intuitive.
once.
It's an intuitive device.
You just brought up a great point that I've never considered until now. From a support aspect, the ability to support somebody with a GoXLR is 10 times better than trying to help somebody with an analog mixer. Like, you can't tell, like, if someone were to hold a camera above
where's
their
your knob at?
Yeah,
where's your knob at?
Is that depressed or is it
is that
pressed or depressed?
Yeah, how many times have you done that? Wait, where's
anytime
your,
when Knackers, when I first got a 286S and he was trying to help me figure out how to use it, I was taking pictures with my cell phone and showing him my positions of my knobs because he had to see where I was because I knew nothing, man. I knew jack shit. I learned it all on the fly.
And
A lot of it
eventually
thanks to him. And
you'll figure it out eventually. And
Sonder helped me out a few times.
Yeah. Imagine how much time. So like, not only is that taking time away from actually streaming, like we're all realistically, like we have more of a professional background than most streamers, right? Like most streamers come into streaming without having produced any content ever before.
Well, you guys did.
Yeah, we did. So like, Jimmy. But realistically, like I, in good faith, can't recommend my setup to other people. Right. I can say, hey, instead of buying this, maybe go with what I have. Right. Instead of buying like this USB microphone, snowball microphone that you're planning on buying and spending $300 on that stuff, maybe you could spend $300 over here and it'll sound better. Or instead of buying like a $700, I think the end of the last podcast I said this. Instead of buying like a $600 or $700 microphone, buy a $200 microphone and a $300 audio interface, and it'll be infinitely better than that $600 microphone with a shitty interface. But
you just broached into something that I would love to even mention too, is that everyone's setup is going to, I mean, once you've been doing it long enough, you're going to have a setup that works best for you.
Yep.
You know, like I have the ability to stream and play. I can stream in as high as I want to stream at, 720, 60, or 1080, 30 or 1080, 60 if it's a low movement game. Right. But I can do all that, but I can play games in 4K with a 4K capture card. And it's a nice thing to be able to like do all that right here. You know what I mean? Play a game in 4K and be able to stream and still be able to enjoy it in a beautiful like 4K 60 or whatever, It's nice. It's a nice thing to be able to do.
Yep.
And that's something that doesn't really appeal to either one of you guys. You don't play as many console games. But to me, that's something I love doing. So it's just,
hey man, I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey last night on controller. Take that shit back.
Okay,
but it was on my PC.
Okay.
So in reference to criticisms, I don't know if I'm just like a little bit of a soy boy when it comes to criticisms. I'm getting better at understanding where people are coming from. The two things that I hate seeing the most, especially in regards to hardware, are overpriced and overrated. Those are the two things that I fucking hate the most, because overpriced is completely subjective. There is nothing objective about being overpriced, because you cannot put a dollar amount on the value that a product brings somebody or the convenience. People will pay up the fucking ass for convenience. Like, take it for example, the newest Apple headphones, the AirPods Max. Some people look at their friends buying $500 wireless headphones and they go, what the fuck is wrong with you? But the way that product fits into that person's life is literally, the value is immeasurable. There's no way that you can try and define a value for that person. And for the same thing for the GoXLR, just some of the criticisms I'm seeing in this tweet thread are, it's overpriced. This particular feature just isn't great. Like somebody was judging the vocal effects. Yeah, if you bought the GoXLR primarily for using vocal effects your entire stream, you're going to be a little let down, because that's not what it's made
it's
for.
Not. It's a side thing. It's not a.
It's a feature.
It's not even a main part of. I like to use them, but it's never more than in moments. It's not meant for that long term. It's not. Yeah.
And I can go into diving into some of the other stuff. There's a couple people that just got super, super critical. People backpedaling on recommending it to their communities. I'm struggling to see the legitimate criticism, because overpriced, you need to actually back that up with knowledge and facts. And I need to see all of that for me to take that without a grain of salt. And again, like here we are. 3 years later, I think at least 3, possibly even 4 years later, there still is not another product that does anything like the GoXLR does. There's a lot of little products here and there that do specific targeted things really, really well. And that's probably frustrating for some people, because there are, I think there's a very small portion of the market where they have very targeted use cases for their equipment. In my opinion, I love the GoXLR. Dual PCs were not really taken into consideration when and it could have been, But it really seemed to me like dual PCs were sort of like, oh no, we can make it work if we do it this way. There's a lot of things that the GoXLR could be better at in regards to dual PC. I'm not saying it isn't
like a dual USB, like USB interface that connects to one PC and a USB interface that connects to the second, so you can route directly through USB without any other cable.
Right.
Like if some product could do that, then dual PC streaming would be the easiest thing in the world.
God. I really don't want to spend time like dogging them for that, because that's like a black hole of like deciding whether it's a dual PC device or not. It works for many, many people. Would it work for me? No, it would not. Are there any valid criticisms that you see about the GoXLR? Because I'm trying to understand where some of these people are coming from with the negative feedback.
I think that a lot of like the criticism comes from people buying these products and expecting them to give them the solution that they're looking for. Like people go into these products wanting what? They want their microphone to sound like Tim the Tap Man or something like that, right? They want their mic to sound great. They don't do the research. They basically just buy a product, and they want it to be an end all for everything, right? And I think a lot of the criticism either comes from them getting, like there's faulty products. The GoXLR isn't the best audio processing product in the world. It's not the best at producing, audio effects or soundboards. Like there's so many great products that can do those niche things that you can put together.
But you better have a few $1,000.
Yeah,
right. Right. So when going back to like the overpriced thing, right? I can recommend people a solution for around $200 that can get them a great sounding audio for their stream, right? But it's not going to have every single feature that the GoXLR has. So to say that something's overpriced, it's dependent on what bullet points you are applying to that overpriced notion. So if you're just solely basing that on audio processing and the sound of your mic, yeah, maybe it's overpriced. Maybe your audio interface that you can buy is going to be much cheaper than that, and it does the same thing that you're looking for. But realistically, you can't see something's overpriced unless you can provide a comparable product or line of products that can do the exact same thing the GoXLR can do for less of a value, right? The GoXLR is a ton of things all packaged into one. It does a lot of things great, but it's not like the greatest product in any of those bullet points, like I mentioned. Like it's not the best thing in the world, but to build the best product in the world throughout all of those, you need a pretty expensive audio stack, like Jimmy mentioned. It's going to cost you thousands to do that. The cables, the amount of power that you need, like where are you going to put all this equipment? Are you going to buy a rack?
Not
That's
to
another
mention
$200.
just the basic quality of life thing.
Yeah.
That one of my favorite features of the GoXLR is that as a streamer is amazing to use is a quick and easy and big and obvious mute button.
Yep.
In the bottom right corner of the GoXLR is a big, huge red mute button that I like to.
We can't hear you, Jimmy.
I like to put.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And I think it's a great feature because sometimes you get a sneeze, you get a cough, you don't want to do it right in the mic. You know what I mean? So it's
what's funny about that is once the GoXLR came out, I saw an increasing demand for microphones that had mute buttons on them. And I think that's why it was such a massive selling point of the Elgato Wave 3 of having, just a 3. I don't think the 1 has it.
They have a mute button on the mic?
So you just tap it and it mutes the mic system-wide, which people didn't think that they needed. And then all of a sudden, it's becoming like a normal thing and people realize the value.
It's one of my favorite features of this. Also, I don't use it that much because I'll say like the rest of them, but the little bleep button's nice too. Hey, go yourself.
I in my head I had planned on. I think this is a constructive conversation, and I thought that I had.
Do you want 30 seconds to shit on them? We'll give you 30 seconds.
No, not
Put
at
it
all.
on the timer.
No, like I
don't
said,
want your 30?
even somebody who bought the product and returned it because it didn't fit for me, but that doesn't mean like I go to social media and tweet about it, like how it's such a product that doesn't fit the mold for streamers, because it's just not true. And
that's a really dumb. That makes no sense. It literally is built for the specific use case of streaming.
Built for streaming,
Yeah,
for sure. And I honestly, I have and I know you do too. You both do. You know a ton of streamers that have the product and love the product, myself included. I'm not saying that people have not received shitty. I feel bad for those people. I was not one of them. It has worked great for me. Any glitches I've had, I've just had to literally restart the software for it to work. I mean, it's really been like the best thing I've bought for my stream ever.
Yeah.
I mean, in no simple terms, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. I'm just saying it literally simplified so many things for me that it made streaming easier. I could focus instead less on audio and more on being creative and doing other stuff.
There's not one glove that fits all either when it comes to audio.
Sure.
Like for me, if anyone came to me and was like, "Hey, what microphone do I buy or what audio equipment do I buy?" I realistically would never recommend a GoXLR unless they had the use case that they need that. Like they're like, "Hey, I want to do my own stream. I have I want to do audio effects. I want to do all these things. I need to route it, route audio. I want to be able to listen to my voice in the desktop audio and change the volumes." Like there's so many little details.
To be able to talk like a little girl.
Yeah, if you want to talk like a little girl, you can do that. But realistically, like for a single PC stream, you don't need the GoXLR to do those things. You can do a lot of those things with a single PC without having to, like, it's a lot more simple. But it all depends on your setup, right? So for me, it's hard to recommend the GoXLR, but whenever someone comes to me that's seasoned in streaming, that has like, they've seen what other people are doing, they're like, "Oh, I want to be able to do the audio effects or the beep sound." Like I can come up with solutions for all of those things, but none of them are going to be as simple as just buying a USB interface that plugs in, that you plug your mic into, and you have software that you can control the thing with. That's infinitely more easy. Most people don't need that shit though, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of like people come up, like me in the past, coming up and being like, "Oh my God, everyone's hyping the shit out of the GoXLR." Then like most people don't use the effects or the products that, or the features of products that they spend an enormous amount of money for, right? Most people that stream, they just buy shit for the features and they never fucking use them. So for me, that's why I always talk people down from spending a ton of money on bullshit features that are pointless. Like go back to last week, the mounting system for the Elgato sound panels, right? I was shitting on those. It's like, you're going to mount them once and you're not going to have to worry about them ever again. That's like, who gives a fuck? Like you're going to buy it for that. That's a feature. But realistically, you're not going to spend your time doing that. So is it really valuable? Does it actually add extra value? On paper, sure. But in your actual production, no. You're never going to fucking care. You're never going to care about that. Like, you're never going to use it. Jimmy is a good example of someone that should have a GoXLR because he's utilizing all those things constantly, right? When I first bought the Stream Deck, I almost never used it, right? I now have it almost solely because I have I think it's a 65% keyboard. So now I don't have my numpad or my...
You have the Stream Deck XL, don't you?
Yeah, I got the big boy. Yeah. So I have like all of my audio controls so I can control music and Spotify. I have all of my lights for the room so I can change those in real time.
Cool.
So I have all of that now controlled from the Stream Deck, and I would not go back.
Yeah,
like,
dude, I
use it
so
all the time.
Cool.
But most people
having a
put time in
tactile
that.
freaking just board to change. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
So that's like, previously I wouldn't use this. Like, I don't use the Stream Deck for streaming related things. Like I don't use it during production because I don't stream. So when I do stream, I use the Stream Deck all the time, right? Like switching scenes, it's fantastic. But of all the features that are loaded into these things, like people buy them because they have extra features, but you're never actually going to use a lot of those things when you're actually streaming, unless you create those little niche desires for your stream, or like you want those things inside of your stream. So
yeah, the last time Kick Tripod was on the podcast, he said that I think just under 50% of GoXLR users, the one that allowed to share anonymous data, left the mic completely default. Like they plugged it in, they set their gain, and then they left it at that, which I thought was crazy. That's fucking surprised
You
the
know what
hell
that
out
tells
of me.
me is that a lot of the people that got the mic literally got it because it's a GoXLR.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they just want it for that's I just started streaming. I'm gonna spend $3,000 buying all this shit, and that's gonna be one of the things I buy. I'm gonna buy an SM7B. I'm gonna buy a GoXLR. I'm gonna buy a Cloud Lifter. I got my gaming PC. I got my freaking DT990s.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got my RE320.
They buy it for the desire to be like because they think that's what they need to become a great streamer, and that's what the great streamers have.
They think they just need all the hardware. Yeah.
First of all, I broke my
you.
DT99. I do love you both
Hey,
very
man,
much.
thanks, man.
I know. Now you got you're about to get super smug on me. I already know this. Yeah, I see.
I can't
you
be
stupid
that
son of a bitch.
smug because
Go ahead.
What are
Go
those?
ahead and give him
What
a
are
shout
those?
out. It's fine.
What are
Give him a shout
those?
so
out.
these are just the 600 ohm versions of the DT990s.
Just the 600.
I was editing a video and I dragged an audio clip that was already really, really loud into an audio channel that had a compressor with a 10 decibel add of output gain, and I hit play on the clip, and all I heard in my earphones was that's how fucking loud it was. It just made a noise, and I blasted both of the fucking domes.
No.
So Epos Vox reached out. He's like, "Hey, homie, you need a headset? I got one here for you." And he must have never wore them because the ear pads are completely brand new, like unlike my Uncrustables that I had.
Yeah.
Hopefully he licked a little.
I fucking hope he
before
did. That sexy son of a
and
bitch.
gave you, so now you got a little Epos Vox DNA on your ears. I know he's a good dude. He knows his shit when it comes to
Yes, he
audio.
does. So yeah, I guess I appreciate your guys' input. I know that we've talked about the GoXLR so much, but this, even as somebody that doesn't use the product, when I see people shit on it for uneducated, stupid reasons, it riles up my passion veins. Like my passion veins fill with just like I try not to get angry. I didn't respond to any of these tweets, by the way. I read it. I'm like, I'm gonna talk about this with the homies later tonight. And I knew that both of you are people who love the GoXLR. And
I hate it, man.
You hate that you love it, right?
I used to hate it. I like it now. Now that I know what it, I used to be a naysayer about it until I did a ton of research and bought a lot of products. I bought and returned a ton of products, and I was like, holy fuck, man, this thing is it's not as bad as people think. But I think the moral of the story as well, when it comes to like, and this goes back to like parroting, people just bitching about stuff that they buy that doesn't solve a problem, or they don't know how to use it, so it doesn't solve their problem for them. Is that reviews? Anytime that I look at reviews, you have to realize that people are more likely to write a review when they're having a bad experience than when they're having a good experience. Like, go to a restaurant's reviews or your apartment complex if you live in an apartment and look at the reviews. There's not there'll be like 3
Dude,
good reviews.
I rarely ever write a review for anything. And there's
unless
tons
it's
of products
really
that
bad.
I love.
Yeah. So I think a good example is this weekend. This last week I was buying a third monitor because I needed more landscape, and I was looking at different monitors. I wanted one that was 27-inch. And I was looking at different features and stuff like that. If you're familiar with G-Sync and AMD FreeSync, just two technologies that are great for gaming, right? Makes it a lot more of a smooth experience when you're playing games. And it seems like it adds more frame rate, but it really doesn't. So I was reading the reviews of this certain monitor, and it had like 3 reviews, and this monitor had 2 stars, and this is on Amazon. And I was scrolling down, and it was like, this guy was like, I bought this monitor because it had G-Sync and spent a fortune on it. But once I plugged in my Xbox, I couldn't enable the G-Sync, and I'm pretty sure this is a scam. And I was just like,
No fucking way.
I swear to God, I'll find a picture of it and post it in the Crocs Discord. But I was just reading through this, and I was like, these are the people.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a misinformed, stupid, dumbass response.
No, but I get it, man.
Yeah.
Like, people, and
they're like, God damn it, my son-in-law just moved in and he's fucking with my internet. His Twitch account's bassing my shit.
Man, yeah. My goddamn, all of a sudden, my RTX ain't working, man. I'm like, dude, you don't have RTX. Okay, that's an Xbox One. All right, there's no RTX on that. All right.
Yeah. So that's just the way it is. Like, if you're ever looking to move into an apartment, I guarantee you, and this is kind of like a bingo game type of thing. Like, you can make a board game out of this. You're gonna see reeks like pot. All I hear is music all weekend. Loud noises, upstairs neighbors. There's garbage everywhere. Like, those are like the 5 things that you're going to see in every apartment review on any website. Like, it's just going to be all negative bullshit. So that you have to realize that most people that spend their time like bitching about this type of shit.
I'm gonna
go ahead.
refill while you continue to talk about
GoXLR
apartment reviews.
Yeah,
right? Please continue this.
Absolutely.
Commercials?
I'm gonna watch.
Commercials?
I'm gonna look and see how our viewership goes while you. Yeah, I'll be right back.
But most people will waste their time writing reviews if they feel like people, if they have something if they have a decent experience and not a terrible one or not a great one, they're not going to write a review. So you're going to see mostly negative or mostly positive reviews.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest issues, like while reading through some of these tweets, is the ability for some to find out that the product doesn't work for them, and therefore it is a bad product. And I think, to a point, I have to give people the benefit of the doubt, because I remember a time where when I was thinking about a product and its value and what it meant in my life, when it didn't work for me, I couldn't comprehend that how it worked would also work for somebody else. And like I said, I know we've beaten this bush so many times. I'm always intrigued when the when the opposing perspective comes up. I'm always like, okay, is there maybe something that my rose-tinted glasses are filtering out? Is there a valid criticism? But every fucking time it's the same shit over and over.
Right.
And I'm surprised at how many people were shitting on it in this thread, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm surprised at how little there are of people. And this is a pretty established broadcaster. And usually when these threads hit Twitter, I would assume that if somebody tweeted like, "Hey, retweet this if you love your GoXLR," it would be absolutely insane the amount of people that would give that post some love.
Yep. I think it comes back to like streamers or anyone. Like, I don't like the term streamers because it kind of like removes like the idea that these people are real people, right? Like
creators. Yeah, the content creators.
But like, if you don't understand the technology, just shut the fuck up and quit suggesting it to people. Like, if you don't understand, or you don't understand the market, or you don't understand the other products in the market, just shut the fuck up. Like, quit recommending it to people. If you have a setup that works for you, recommend it to people for why. Like, give them the reasons why it works for you. If you're buying shit just because some goblin that plays Fortnite all day long says that they love the product, then I don't know, man. Like, maybe you shouldn't listen to him. If it's a mouse, like if it's a gaming mouse and the guy's the best fucking builder in the world or best shooter, maybe that makes sense, right? But like, most people don't really care about like the small nitty gritty details of audio or video. The amount of times that I've recommended video cameras and lenses and capture cards and the right equipment to people, and they've gone and bought the complete opposite things and then recommended the shit that they've bought to their audiences is dozens of times. Yeah. So do your own research, quit listening to the parroting dog shit, and have a good time. It's kind of like we talk about this 100 times or thousands of times on this podcast. Whenever a new game comes out, everyone bitches and complains and just repeats the same dog shit. And it ruins game experiences for you, right? Like, you go in with like the preconceived notion that this game is going to suck, or you're looking for the glitches. And they're really not that bad when you get to them. Maybe a lot of times, the game is great, but people just complain about things because they can't figure out why the game is different than the last generation. Like with the new Call of Duty, they're like, the movement's fucking terrible. It's like, no, the movement's not terrible. You're just not used to it. And therefore, you're not willing to learn it. And you're then complaining about it instead of just putting the time in to figure it out, man.
By the way, you were talking about keyboards earlier. Did you see my new keyboard?
No. Show. You want to do a little show and tell? Oh, I love it.
So I got yours is did you have arrow keys?
Yeah. So mine's is, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I'm looking at chat. I think mine's is 65%. So it has the arrow keys and a delete key, page up, page down. And then it has Alt FN and menu.
But no function row.
No FN keys on the top. No numpad. But I still maintain the delete page up and page down. The reason that I need the delete key... and I still have the squiggle. So the reason that I needed the delete key is for After Effects. The amount of times that you use that. I couldn't lose that. Now that I bought this keyboard, I can actually use this with After Effects without a problem. And I can still get my my F keys by just hitting function and then pushing the keys. I rarely run into like a problem where I'm like, I wish I had the function keys back.
So yeah, that's technically a 65% because it doesn't have the function row. I just bought this kind of as a tester to see if I could go back to a 60 again. And the delete key being gone sucks. My delete is now function quote. function quotation, which after a certain amount of time isn't too terrible, but the only way that you can get to the arrow keys is with function and then IJKL, which is super awkward. If I could have remapped it to WAS, that'd be great, but GMMK doesn't support that type of...
Do you want me to send you the one that I bought?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this keyboard, like I have another 60%, and I couldn't transition from like playing WoW, because WoW you need a ton of keys.
Yeah.
WoW and working, and then playing like Rainbow Six at the time. I loved the extra desk space playing Rainbow Six. But whenever I swapped to WoW or anything work related, I had to move my keyboard around. And I had the K70 Corsair. I think that's the K70. So I had to run the cable back in and plug it in the PC. And eventually I was just like, fuck it. And this thing's just been sitting in a box. Now that I have this keyboard, and I use the Stream Deck for like audio controls and some other stuff, like Windows commands, I haven't missed my other keyboard. This is like the best keyboard I've ever had.
I left my other cable so that if I wanted to switch back to my 75%, I could. But this thing for Call of Duty is fucking amazing.
Ooh, little spice there,
a little bit of spice there.
A little sauce, a little extra space on your right side, huh?
I will probably try and go for a 65%. I think that's going to be like my perfect medium, because with the 75%, having the function row sandwiched right up against the number row was kind of not my favorite. But it's an amazing keyboard anyways.
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
surprised.
Jimmy.
Like the arrow keys, I was surprised on how much I actually use them.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think I ever used arrow keys until I realized that I still had arrow keys. I'll put that wasn't the link. It's an EPO Maker. I have the EPO Maker GK68XS with the blue Gateron blue switches, and I love this keyboard.
Are you not even a sub to the podcast that you're on?
No, I'm a sub.
You just got timed out.
31, dude. I got 31 months.
You got timed out by...
I'm banned. Feels bad.
Or did you just get banned by Jimmy?
Hey man, listen. I'll just send it to Jimmy. He's a mod.
I
dude.
didn't ban him. I didn't ban him.
No,
that was so weird. EPO Maker.
banned,
okay.
man.
All right. See, the other
EPO
thing
Maker.
that I'm super tight about is the modular switches.
Tight.
I'm going to be switching them out pretty soon. But anywho, any final points on the GoXLR conversation?
Poop butt.
Poop butt, man. Can you do like a sound effect just to close it out?
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Real to close it, Jimmy. What is your number one unpredicted value that thing brings to your life? Like, what was something that after you got it that you realized, holy shit, this is probably the best part of it? Thank you, Jesus Christ.
Quick touch, because like I have where I can just adjust, even when I'm not streaming, just being able to adjust sliders to like my speaker or something where I want to listen to Spotify over something, or I can bring down the volume of a stream, you know what I mean? Or I can bring up, just having that on the fly, just right there at it's so nice, it's a very nice function, and it can do more for you than just streaming, although that's the prime function, but there's a lot of quality of life features that really just makes it simple to control sound from multiple sources. Like I have 4 monitors, and it's nice to be able to like have stuff where I can easily control sound on from different stuff. Where visually it makes sense.
Sure.
So,
Turbo David asked the question, and in case they want to bounce because the GoXLR conversation is ending, I'd like to answer it for him real quick. So, by the way, I've never done this in podcast history. This is how much I'm willing to lay my dick on the line for GoXLR. Okay.
I know what you're talking about because I told him to post it in the thing, but I want to.
Good man. Thank you. Turbo David asked, what about the GoXLR Mini as an alternative as a lower price point than the GoXLR?
It just depends on what you want out of it. If you don't want the voice changing, because what does it lose?
The vocal effects and
soundboard.
You lose the motorized faders with the Mini as well?
I don't think so.
That shit's cool, man. I think
the motorized faders are there still.
They'll answer in chat. Motorized
you lose
faders,
the motorized faders.
So
I think if you were a beginning streamer and if you were looking for an all-in-one device and you didn't need soundboard or vocals, I think it would still be a value purchase. I do. But if you are somebody who, if you want to have having those motorized faders is nice. It's a very nice tool because it doesn't take long to set up on your different sound inputs on your PC, where you can easily just control where your sound is coming from. It's just very, very nice quality of life feature.
Yeah.
So
I absolutely will recommend the GoXLR Mini to people because just the preamps alone, like if you just want to cover 98%.
Wait, how much? Knackers, how much is it? The Mini?
like 200.
Okay.
I think it's 240. I think it's 249.
250?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
250. Either way,
Sorry,
no.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's a valuable
Yeah.
device. It doesn't do all the things that the GoXLR
Right.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Knackers.
No, it's
Go ahead.
okay. Just like there's a lot of quality of life things that exist in the Mini. It's like it's on the edge of would I recommend this to somebody brand new to streaming? But it's like if you're going to go out and spend $100 to $150 on some shit like a Behringer or Focusrite, absolutely spend the extra $50 and get this device that has a bunch of extra features as well. Again, preamps is something that is really, really hard to come by quality-wise when it comes to all of these other devices. And again, talking about like real-world conversations, a lot of professional audio gear takes up a lot of space and is ugly as fuck. And in the age of TikTok and streamer and r/r battle battle stations, aesthetics, baby. Aesthetics matter, to be honest. They matter to some people, and that's at the end of the day. So absolutely, when people are talking about, hey, I need an audio interface for a microphone, that's one of the first ones that I recommend, regardless of which path they're going down.
And I want to mention this too, just because we've been talking about mixers this whole time, and this may be opening a whole nother can of worms, but I'm going to say it.
We got no other topics.
There's better USB mics now than
Yes,
Yeah.
I just made a TikTok about that today.
Dude, the USB mic situations now, like with the Wave 3 and Wave 1 mics and the upgraded Yetis and everything, like it is like microphone technology for USB interface has come a long way in the last 5 years and is way more user friendly than it ever has been before. And just so you know, I was on a USB mic interface for my first year of streaming.
Your mic just started freaking out, man.
That was
weird. It knows you're talking
better?
about
You're
its,
good now, yeah.
Okay.
predecessor.
Yeah, it did a weirdie.
User has a GoXLR.
Send it back. Report.
Oh shit!
Tweet
no,
it.
like you have I don't know, man. There's so much more that you can do now with the USB mic, and with all the plugins that are available on OBS, you can sound like a freaking. If you take the time to learn, you can sound like as good as anyone on Twitch.
Yeah,
with a USB microphone.
Yep. So I'm going to go on the opposite side of you guys with the GoXLR Mini. So the reason I would recommend it, to preface this, I wouldn't. I don't know all of the features that aren't in the GoXLR Mini, but the reason that I do recommend the GoXLR, or I would recommend the GoXLR to people, is because of the all-in-one features and the accessibility of all of those features that you need for streaming specifically, all in one box. Like I said, I don't know what's in the GoXLR Mini, what specific things are missing. I know we listed a few of them with the effects and stuff. So for me, I think that you could probably find some audio equipment that could do the same thing that the GoXLR Mini could do for cheaper, and sound great if all that you care about is your mic sounding great, and potentially do the same routing that the GoXLR Mini can do. I don't know exactly what's missing, so again, I'm not sure, but that's where I'll kind of take the opposite side from you guys and say maybe you could go and find for less money, maybe for a $50 investment, you could find some good pieces of audio equipment that get you started, that make more sense to buy a different product than a GoXLR at that point. Does that make sense? Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay. So it's a good time. Like Jimmy mentioned, like it's a good time to be a streamer right now. There's a lot of good products that are out there. We had a whole talk on the last podcast about Elgato. One thing that we missed mentioning on the last podcast is that Elgato was one of the first companies to start marketing specifically to streamers with products, hardware products. So they deserve, some extra validation there. So that was one thing we missed, Knacker.
Interesting.
Yeah. But even though it's a good time to be a streamer, just be careful as well with the products you're buying. Sometimes things are marketed to streamers and it's just something else from a different place in the world, right? Like RGB lights. Sometimes you can get them for a better deal. There's better products out there that have more features, but maybe you want something to work specifically for your stream, right? just be careful. Do a little bit of research. Nothing is a perfect product for everyone. Nothing that just is labeled streamer. And if you rewind, 5-10 years ago, in the past, people started labeling shit gaming, like gaming mice. Oh, we have these new gaming keyboards. Oh, we have RGB gaming monitors. It's like, dude, it's just the same dog shit with different lighting and different, like nowadays they have different features and they've added value. But in most cases, we've all seen like, this is a gaming cup, a gaming headset, gaming glasses. It's just glasses that are marketed towards gamers. So just do your research, know what your product's features are, know what you want for your stream. Don't look at products and try to find something to spend your money on just because you have the money to spend. Find out what's missing from your stream. Really focus on like what you want to produce and what the end product is, and then go after it, right? Maybe it's not modeling your shit after what Tim the Tap Man or what Jimmy does, two equally sized streamers, two big time streamers.
Some big cocks.
And some big cock streamers. So yeah, just do your research, man. If you have any questions, ask people, listen to their recommendations, but also realize that no one's recommendation is going to be perfect, right? And sometimes you also have to sift through the majority of the responses that you're going to get might not be the right one. They may just be a bunch of misinformed people that bought a Shure SM7B because Tim the Tapman had one. There's a lot of good shit out there. Just do some research, man.
I think that's a really good point to end this particular topic on, is always encourage people to try to find validation in somebody's review when they're talking about a product. So like if you're a new streamer or a new content creator that's coming into the space and you're wondering if like a GoXLR is for you, when somebody gives you their review on something or their perspective, try to find out why it didn't work for them in addition to why it didn't work, because there's a huge distinction between the two. And I think one of the problems with social media is it's really easy for hype trains and poop trains to snowball. So like right now, there's probably a high concentration of people shitting on the GoXLR on Twitter right now.
A poop snowball.
Yeah, well, it's poop balls. You can shit on our balls, man. And if you were to go on Twitter right now, that would probably be your experience. So I would just encourage you to ask smart people what they think about the GoXLR.
Yeah, true.
Anywho, any final points on the GoXLR?
No, man. If you want one, buy one, man. If you can afford it, buy the fucking thing, man. Yeah, buy it, dude.
If it fits,
if it fits,
it
sits, dude.
Yes.
I had another topic. So I that I just thought of in the back of my mind. So this morning I stayed up late playing Hell Let Loose, a ton of Hell Let Loose. Love that game. I was playing on the Chinese servers as and RPing as like a hardcore American, going like, "Let's go, boys." Dude, the Chinese are the nicest people ever, man. They were so welcoming. They were super nice to me, dude. Those guys are sick. If it was the other, like, flip-flop the other way around,
oh my God,
Americans are assholes. So I stayed up really late, and that was just a little piece of leading into this. So I went on to different subject. Was it playing or I was on Instagram, and I didn't realize until this morning, but I fucking burnt out so hard on Instagram.
Yeah.
To the fact that I stopped using it for years. Like literally did not post anything on Instagram. And I was going through and like looking at my DMs and all kinds of other shit. And like people were like, "Hey, where are you at, man? Like, what's going on?" Like, and I was just kind of like, oh my God. Like I stopped when I started streaming. I stopped posting shit on Instagram completely because I think through streaming, I kind of found out who I wanted to be on the internet. Right. And I couldn't be the fake bullshit version of myself that I was portraying through like these social media posts and like the perfect picture of like exactly who I am.
That was your Instagram, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. It was dog shit, dude. It's fucking like terrible. It's so bad. It's such garbage. And I was kind of like going back through and like, oh my God, this is fucking terrible. And it's funny because like now, like after I've gone through and streamed and kind of just like become who I am and like myself, I don't think I could ever go back to posting on Instagram again. And obviously in the same way, or like actually managing my account. I don't know if you guys have felt the same way, like as social medias have like transitioned, or how you've jumped from one social media to another, that your identity changes so much that you look back and you're like, holy fuck, like that's a nightmare, man.
Yo, I deleted Instagram.
Really? Holy shit.
I just realized that it was not for me. So I just deleted it.
As soon as TikTok got my attention, I've realized that Instagram was literally the worst platform at giving you content. Like, the way in which Instagram dishes you the content is dog shit. The amount of advertisements is dog shit. And to be honest, the content that people post on Instagram is dog shit. Like,
It's terrible.
I don't think that your experience with how you are using Instagram is all that off of how other people usually use it. I think for whatever reason, like, Instagram is always this like mirage of what a person actually is.
Right.
Whereas,
for
like,
sure.
I don't know why.
It's through a bunch of filters and through like that. I mean, that's what I used. I mean, it's always happy. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I think when it came down to it at the end of the day, it wasn't that I was looking at Instagram stuff and getting pissed off or angry. It was really more just came down to the fact that, like you just said, about every 3 or 4 posts, I'd see an ad. And a lot of the posts, too, I knew the people doing the posts, and I was like, man, this is a lot of it was just like fake BS, like just stuff that I took 10 pictures to get this perfect picture right here. It just, I don't know, man. It doesn't appeal to me after a while. I liked it at first because I enjoyed the cool pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Then after a while, it kind of turned into something different. You know?
I think the reason that I love TikTok so much right now, it is the rawest form of content. Like, it is literally people recording shit with their phones and then editing it with TikTok's little fucking editor and then uploading it. Whereas, like, Instagram is so goddamn manufactured a lot of the times. Like, there's like this certain bar that you have to hit in order for this shit to look good. And TikTok, nobody gives a fuck about what they upload. Like, when I think about how many things I have forwarded to friends from TikTok compared to the amount of things that I found on Instagram and sent to somebody, TikTok overtook that within like the first month. And man, that's my anecdotal experience with Instagram at the moment.
Yeah, I think at first, like, if I go back to like when I first made my Instagram, I was posting like little highlights of my life. And then what ended up happening, and I didn't really realize it while it was happening, but I was trying to create highlights in my life so I could post them on Instagram. Ooh. So instead of it being a highlight of my life, I was then manufacturing those highlights so then I would obtain validation from people, right? Which was really weird. So like I wouldn't go and do something because I would enjoy it. I would do it because I would want to post a picture of that, right? And like without knowing it, like that wasn't like the motivation in my mind wasn't, oh, I can't wait to go fucking skydiving so I can take a picture so I can post on Instagram. But realistically, like in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, like this will be a good post. Like people will love this. Like this is gonna be great. And then like it's just like a echo chamber of like people like, oh, that's cool. Oh, you have a great life. You have a great
like
life.
It goes into like the thing like at concerts. Like I hate that shit. You're at a concert. And obviously, I haven't been in a concert in a while because of COVID. But the last one I was at
Woodstock,
Third Eye Blind concert. You fucking stick. I was at a Third Eye Blind concert in Austin. Yep. And I was with my wife. And some fuck stick in front of me. We had a really good seats and place. Like, it was above like the floor. It was really nice. It was close to the bar, so I could go get us drinks. And some fuckstick in front of us was like putting his fucking phone up, like recording the concert, like right in front of us. And I'm like, hey, dude, are you really ever gonna watch this? I mean,
who's this for? Yeah,
exactly. I'm like, I want to say, dude, just be in the moment. Like, you don't need to record this.
Yeah,
it's gonna sound so much better on any album ever that they've done. Like, you don't need to fucking record this video. Like, I get recording like 5 seconds just to show the crowd sort of deal. Like, he was trying to record like the entire song.
Set,
and I was like, bro, can you please get your fucking phone? I had to tell him, I was like, I need you to get your fucking phone out of our faces.
I was at a big gigantic show here in Detroit a couple years back, and I'll never forget seeing this girl on Snapchat, recorded 15 seconds down, add to story, and then would tap all of her friends and then send. Record another 15 seconds. Go to next. Send. Tap all these.
You're not
people
even able to enjoy the concert.
For a song.
All you're doing is fucking
10 minutes of just recording and then sending. And I'm like, can you fucking
Yeah. It's like that's the point of being at a live concert is to not have all that. It's one thing to have a picture or two or a short second of video. I'm not against that. But if you're trying to record an entire song or an entire set, you're a fucking idiot. Like, it's just dumb. It's just, why would you? I've taken videos at concert where I want to see, like, there's like a throng of people. So I'll show it to my friends, you know, and I'll send them. You know, and they're like, "Oh, damn, have fun."
Jimmy likes thongs.
But it's never more than like a 10-second video.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Now,
I'm not trying to.
With that said, when you go to YouTube,
am I a boomer?
No.
Does that make me a boomer?
Everybody hates it. However, when you go to YouTube and there's somebody that recorded an entire set and it's in like perfect fucking quality and it's totally listenable, you're like, "Oh man, this is great."
That's nice.
It's kind of like it's kind of like going to the movies. Like people are sitting and instead of watching the movie, they're like, "Fuck yeah, there's Jason Bateman.
Oh yeah,
sick." All right, let me send this to Tommy, Johnny.
Never seen him in person.
Oh god, this is crazy. I think the worst thing is when is the version of what Jimmy just illustrated, but when they're pointing the camera at themselves. Okay, and they're like,
"Oh yeah,
vibing, we're fucking out here.
Hey, yo, man, we're here. We got freaking Green Day, dude. We got Blink 182.
I'm here with Green Day.
Yo, I'm here, dude.
Guys.
Yo,
I know those
follow
guys.
my fucking shit on Instagram and YouTube."
It's like, dude, like I understand posting like little events that you're going to in your life, or like get like little snippets, let people know. And I used to like, honestly, my parents almost had it right. You know what they do when they're at a concert of like some band that they used to like as kids or teenagers? They would FaceTime their friends really quickly and just be like, "Hey, we're at the concert thinking about you guys." And I used to be like, "Cringe, bro." Like, you guys are idiots. But that makes infinitely more sense than like blanketing the approach and just sending it to everyone and be like, "Oh, check out how fucking sick I am, bro." Like, it's just like the most, now looking back, it makes me cringe. And like people still do this shit, right? Obviously it's a little different with COVID, but I feel like streaming on Twitch was like the perfect filter at the right time to just like completely remove all the bullshit, right? Like you can't sit and stream. And I said this at the beginning, like what's the difference between YouTube and Twitch? A lot of people from YouTube, the fucking shitheads that make videos, tried to come over and stream, and their personality was so fucking empty that they couldn't last 5 seconds because they're losers, right? They're fucking losers. So
doing live content as opposed to recorded content are two totally different.
Right. But you see people's true character in live content, right?
Live content's a lot harder to fake.
Yep.
It's a lot harder to fake who you are.
Exactly. So I think that was,
unless you hide behind an avatar.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Who does that? But it was just a weird like revelation. And I always like had different thoughts of like why I didn't like Instagram and like why I didn't use it and stuff. And I thought it was because I started streaming and it was like a different audience. But it was now coming to like, I had like a enlightening moment after spending all morning playing Hell Let Loose up to like 7 a.m. in the Chinese servers, and those guys were super nice. And I sat down and was on Instagram, and I was like, "This is a piece of shit app, man. Like this shit fucking sucks." And that doesn't mean that like other apps are void of the same dog shit. It's like if you rewind back to when Facebook started their video program, everyone was just scalping videos off of YouTube and re-uploading them, right? And TikTok is still
really bad.
It's getting. There's a lot of original content, like you mentioned, Knackers. There's a lot of original ideas and like themes within TikTok, but there's also like this vicious cycle of people ripping everyone else's content off from inside of TikTok. Like the amount of times that I've sent something to Casey and then Casey sends something back to me and it's the exact same video, just different people doing it, and not like lip syncing a sound or something like that, but like creating like 5 things you need to know about streaming. Bam, 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 bam. And then you look at the other guy's video, 5 things about streaming. Bam, bam. And it's the exact same fucking bullet points, the exact same song, exact same format. They're recommending the same stuff. I hope that like the content creators that are real, right, and the people that actually are genuine continue to float to the top. And hopefully TikTok is a platform that allows that to happen. I think Twitch is. I don't think I could name one dickhead that I sit and spend time watching stream.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
Besides
Jimmy. Yeah.
But realistically, like think of the personalities. Like I have a perfect or a relatively perfect profile of Jimmy's personality and your personality and everyone's personality that I watch on Twitch. And I feel like that's a pretty good feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you get a good feeling from that.
That
from
parasocial relationship.
Well, I think that's one of the draws to the Twitch, and the beauty of the platform is you get enamored to a degree with understanding the personalities of the people that you're watching on that platform, and having the ability to interact with them 1v1 is something that a lot of other platforms in live.
Yep.
I mean, that's an ability that a lot of other platforms can't give you the ability to do that, and that that draws people in. It makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense.
All right, next topic. Another thing on Twitter that I found. I love, this is actually like my favorite evolution of my work ethic is finding things on Twitter, and then instead of engaging with a bunch of idiots and trying to have a conversation with people that can't see past their own fucking belly.
Save it for the podcast.
Yeah, just save it for the podcast and talk shit about them
No,
since they'll never know. So I'm gonna read these tweets. And I want to get your guys' opinion on them because, Jimmy, I think you're somebody who fits the mold of what this person is doing, not the after doing. Yeah, you fucking asshole. So listen to this. Fuck, it's hard being original in streaming. So many people want shortcuts and not actually learn anything. All you hear is, how did you do that? Bruh, I searched for literal hours finding cool new things to separate myself. Last thing I want to do is give a part of myself to you. My favorite is when I go into someone's stream and they just did a copy and paste from my setup. I'm not saying I created all these things, hell nah. But I did put in the work, research, and trial and error. People are so quick to just take an idea and regurgitate it and not improve. Just FYI, I don't mind helping for basic streaming questions. How do I fix this? Or having audio trouble, basic stuff. But if you start asking about how to install a plugins, and that shit ain't it, chief. So, the conversation is, I Googled something and I figured out how to make my thing look a certain way. Therefore, it is mine. And I'm not going to share how I did it because this is the only thing that sets me apart as a creator from anybody else.
Moving cameras.
Yeah. Can we all just get moving cameras from now on? So here's my topic of conversation. This is gatekeeping at its fucking finest.
This is it, dude. This is just, I could just tell by the way the person wrote what they wrote. And as someone who analyzes a lot of student handwriting and I read a lot of essays for my job, this person, without a doubt, this is my professional opinion, they are 100% a fucking douche.
Okay.
I love douche.
I thought you were going to be constructive with it, but we just went right there.
No, they are a douche. The argument is invalid, and they proved that by their continued writings, and no, this is an invalid, just bullshit. Fucking yeah, that's my opinion.
I think that they are very, very insecure. Not necessarily about themselves, but about their content. So I want to break this down a little bit. I don't want to spend a crazy amount of time on it because it's obvious, but this is one of those points where I had to say to myself, am I fucked up? This was one of these moments.
Did you? Did you have to say, am I fucked
did,
up?
because I
This seems like a no-brainer to me.
I thought about people like Dr. Disrespect, Sushi Dragon. There's Rob Dieslot. The people that just put insane amount of time, and you, Jimmy, and people that put insane amount of time into their, I don't want to say production quality, but I will say the creative production quality, where you're taking all of these different aspects, these plugins, these features, these apps, and you are baking them into your brand. And
that's my point,
right.
though. If anyone ever asks me a simple production question, I'll always answer it, especially if they're being polite. Like, and people say all the time, like, hey, how do you animate that? I'm like, I use a software called FaceRig. It's not in, you can't buy FaceRig anymore because they do animes now. It's
Oh.
yeah,
I know that.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with that, especially if you're polite. Like, it's not a secret. Like, I learned all this stuff by watching other people who told me what they were doing. And I was like, thank you. And then I learned about it and moved on. It's like, this is exactly, and Salty, I saw it in chat, he hit the nail on the head. In my opinion, this is gatekeeping at its finest. You're not fucked up. This doesn't, in my opinion, this is an open and shut fucking case, man. This is like this is about as easy as it gets.
If only I could get Judge Jimbles on screen right now to give us a fucking verdict.
Well, we could if I ever. We'll have to get the OBS.
Let me give you guys the bailiff's take, okay?
Yeah.
Because the bailiff always has something to say in the courtroom. Yeah. I've watched Judge Judy at least 6 times when I was 11.
Have you seen that New Jersey judge who is like super
I love
nice?
that guy.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that guy's so sick, man. So shout out to that guy. Also, shout out to Rob Dies a lot. That guy's a beast, man.
He
I
is.
love that guy.
He is.
I didn't know about him until your podcast, and then
I didn't either.
He's super
I didn't
nice
either,
guy.
and I very much enjoyed. That was one of my favorite 1v1s you've ever done. Yep. That dude is a.
I saw him.
Someone clip this and send it to him. We love you, Rob.
He's probably in bed now, but he was in the podcast earlier.
I think you're cool. If you ever want to hang out, I don't hate you.
Ask him to collab. You want to collab, dude?
Collab.
So my bailiff's take, okay, is if you're there's a big difference between ripping someone's content off completely and ripping off the foundation or the foundational piece of their content. Okay. So like, and I don't know, maybe that's not the best way to put it, but like to put this in context surrounding Jimmy's stream, if all of a sudden I'm using an avatar that's a beer and I'm sitting and playing retro games, there's a difference between that and then me using some of the animations that he uses within his stream to portray his brand. Okay. People that gatekeep technology are morons. Okay. Unless you have some way to patent your technology, you clearly don't have that creative of an idea. There's so many examples of this throughout the world that in the business world that this happens, that people can't protect this IP that they feel like they have. But realistically, it's nothing, right? That if you find some way to create a transition or moving like with effects in OBS, you have a way to move your camera between scenes. You didn't create that. The guy that produced the code created that. If you didn't want people to use it, then you should get it. You should develop it yourself and then just have it for yourself. Just because people find like there's a streamer, not going to name him, but
dude, you're just going and basically cementing the fact that
this guy's
everything that it's an invalid argument.
Yeah.
It is an invalid argument.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Exactly.
You don't need to even justify it with as many words as you've spent already. It is an invalid argument.
Invalid.
Period.
So production equipment, this falls into that. Technology, this falls into it. If it's not something that you've created yourself for that use case, then you can't expect people not to rip it off. If you plug a bunch of shit into your stream that's a bunch of stuff that doesn't add to the experience, but is just like technological advancements, like a moving camera, and people come to your stream specifically for that to ask you why you're using it, and it doesn't actually add value to your stream, then you should probably rethink using that tech and find ways that it actually elevates the brand that you're trying to create, right? Like if people are specifically only coming for that thing to ask you what that thing is so they can put it in their stream, it's probably more telling that it's not actually helping your brand, but it's just a gimmick than anything else could. And I've seen that a lot in streaming, specifically with moving cameras. I've seen it a lot with moving cameras, with a particular person that doesn't want anyone to know what he's using, but bought his product off of B&H, and it's something that's been used hundreds of times. You just mounted it, and that's it.
When that first dropped, did you happen to see the amount of arguments that happened on Twitter of who had the first moving camera on Twitch? Mm-hmm. That was a literal topic of conversation.
Yeah.
I'll BRB because I'm gonna need at least one more glass of wine for the end of the show.
You, baby.
Okay.
By the way, we do not have any
juice, man.
We don't have any cues, so however you want to steer this once you get back, slurp it up,
okay,
dude.
I got some ideas. Ideas.
Okay.
All right, BRB.
So, and I think the reason that I know that you're passionate about this and that I'm passionate about this is because Jimmy, that was like Butler Jimmy. Like, oh, how astute of you, my friend. Oh, show us that belly button. Is it an innie or is it an outie? He is fucking going. Oh my God. Doing TikTok dances. He doesn't even know it. This is what it looks like when his pee-pee is getting suckled. This is how he dances. I just realized
he's like a leprechaun. He's like an old man leprechaun.
We never need to ask the question again, is he a boomer or not? He has a long sleeve shirt underneath a short sleeve shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like Hey Arnold type of shit.
Not only is that like a style no-no, it's impractical as fuck. If you're going to wear layers, you wear the longer layer on top and the shorter layer underneath.
Yeah. Unless it's a vest. You know, like those, you know, like the...
That there was a picture of somebody had taken a picture of 4 guys walking in like downtown New York last week, and it was 4 dudes with like white long sleeve button up shirts and a blue sleeveless vest, like all 4 of them walking in the same direction.
Like a wedding picture.
Oh my god. So where I was going was that we are both people that have put an insane amount of time into production quality, into quality in general, both audio and video. And we've both experienced the fleeting amount of people that come in and go, oh my God, your camera, it's so crisp. Your audio, your voice, it's so great. Oh, that stinger transition, the webcam border. They will suck your cock for 4 hours straight for a single stream, and then you'll never see them again. Yeah. And you know what? You want to know what when they leave your stream and they're in bed and they're about to fall asleep, do you want to know what they're thinking? I can tell you what they're not thinking. Oh my God, that dude's camera was so crisp. I'm just going to not jerk off and then fall asleep. They immediately go to Pornhub.com and they wank their worries away and then they fall fast asleep.
Or just chatting, you mean?
Or just chatting.
Or TikTok, yeah.
Jacuzzi stream.
Yeah.
That stuff, while it gives you that short dopamine hit of dick sucking, it doesn't matter in the long run. And in my later years of streaming, it has caused me to not put any additional time into the production value side of streaming. And it has forced me to focus on how can I make my core content fucking good.
Yeah.
So that when somebody clicks on the stream, the thing that makes them stay is the content, not the stinger transition or the effects. And I'm somebody who I'll do multi-camera zooms and high energy shit all day, but you know that shit's for me.
Yeah, they have to. So like, look at someone like Doc. When you think of Doc's stream, you think of the great production quality, but you don't single out any single thing from his production. Right. The main core piece of his content is his character, right? The character that he creates. So when it comes to tech, and I'm sure like you've done this and I've done this, we add in a ton of layers of all these little cool things that we want to add. And then we eventually start to phase some of those things out. Like this didn't really add anything. It was kind of a cool little gimmick, but it didn't really add anything to like the full production of like what the experience of the end user is seeing. And I think that's super important. Like always be practicing and finding new things, like be creative with streaming. Like there's a million different creative ideas that you can put into streaming, but also understand that each one of those things has like a fleeting amount of value if you don't utilize it to elevate your core piece of content, like your character or your presentation. Like a great example is like your stream utilizes a ton of different cameras, multi-cameras, right? I've personally used a bunch of multi-cameras that don't actually add any value, right? So like when you cut to Bozo, it's a different character that you're utilizing. No one thinks, oh my God, this guy has a second camera, right? No one's like, oh my God, hey, how did you hook up the second camera to your thing?
Right.
When you go back behind your studio setup, no one's like, oh my God, what type of camera is that back there that's facing down into showing your whole studio before you go live? So you have to find ways to utilize the technology, like I said, to elevate what you're doing. And if it doesn't elevate anything, if it's just distracting, because that's like what a moving camera can do, if it's not used properly or you just set it up as a gimmick, it actually takes away from the experience for the viewer. It distracts them. They're going to be like, oh, what the fuck's that? It moves the conversation completely, right? And I think that's really important, is like finding the right balance between those things. Always add things in to keep it fresh for the viewers that stay, that care about you, to have like a new gimmick or like a new thing that they think is interesting. But yeah, don't hyper focus on it. And if you're the guy that's gatekeeping, like, bro, if this is clearly not something that's adding a ton of value for you because you feel that if you lose that thing and other people have it, it'll take away from your stream.
Right. And I think that's probably the part that got me the most was, oh man, if I give this out, then the people that I have are going to leave and go to this other streamer. Okay, then what does that say about your content in general?
Exactly.
So okay, I'm glad. Like I was pretty sure that I wasn't fucked up, but I always got to check. Like I got to humble myself.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, you're good, man. I think this podcast this week we've had really good completing ideas, and I think that's good. We've really we've started somewhere. We've agreed on things. We've gotten all of our points out. This is great.
It's
man.
like I stuck my finger in Nagger's butthole, and you stuck your finger in my butthole.
Here, okay, Bishop, you hold up a circle with your right hand.
Wait, I'm here. Oh wait,
there you go.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
You stick your finger in my butthole.
And then Bishop, your left hand's got to go down a little bit, and I'm gonna hold my butthole right down here.
If you're an audio listener, you're really missing.
Oh, wait, I
so
need to come back.
Jimmy, other hand. So your left hand needs to be a butthole in your top left.
This hand.
Do you have your camera flipped? Other one. Yep.
Okay.
Hold that
Now
one
that
up
goes-
a little bit.
That one goes straight up.
Yeah, right there.
Finger up.
Okay,
finger
good.
Up. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'm going to
Other way.
Yep.
Other way. Other side. Yep. Put that.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Okay,
Yeah.
now move your
Oh,
butthole.
wait, no.
Oh, here we go.
Move your butthole over a little
No,
bit.
no. I got it.
Move your
now.
butthole. Move your butthole.
the last
Move your butthole.
discussion.
Butthole right here.
Keep going. Keep
Butthole
going.
here.
Keep going. Keep going.
Hang on.
Perfect. Yes. I'll put this one over. Yeah.
Lower your
Right there.
Lower your anus.
Right.
Lower
All right.
your anus.
Now thrust.
This
Thrust
is
your penis. Thrust your
Thrust.
penis. There you go. That's what a podcast is about.
That's
Yeah.
what a podcast is all about, right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
That
did
was
it.
really difficult to coordinate.
That was nice, man. Hey, we should start a cheer team.
We should fuck each other more often.
Can we do an old fashioned just for old time's sake?
Yes.
Okay.
I completely forgot what my thing was. I completely forgot what mine was. Was mine just caw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been too long, man.
You fucked it up.
Fuck. Sorry, man. Sorry. Anything else, man? What's new in the world, man? Dude, Roblox. Can we talk about Roblox for a second?
Yeah, we can talk about
Yeah,
that.
Jimmy did a stream.
I did a special. So my son, one of the things he turns 10 next week, and we had spring break this week, and one of the things he wanted to do for spring break was stream with me, because he says, "Dad, you usually stream at night. I don't get to stream with you because I got to go to bed."
He wants to collab.
And-
It's on purpose, you little fuck.
Yeah. So he goes, "So I'd really like to stream with you over spring break." And so like my freaking mother-in-law was like hammering me hard. Like come Monday, she was like, "Frankie said he really wants to stream with you. Have you set up a time yet? Have you set up a time?"
yeah.
I was like, "No, I have not, but I will right now." You know. And so we streamed Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens on Tuesday, and that was fun. We did that in the afternoon. And then he was talking to me, and he was so mature and professional. It was so funny. He was like, "Dad, I feel like we probably didn't get the viewership we probably needed to for Lego Star Wars."
What?
Because he was serious. He asked me these questions. He says, "What do you normally get, Dad? What do you normally get at your viewership?" I said, "Well, I'm averaging, between 70 and 80 right now. A stream. That's about my normal average." And he goes, "Well, what was it for Star Wars?" He goes, "I was like, it was around 50. He goes, "That's not good enough."
Oh my god.
Dude, he's hit the threshold of where he's now like exceeding your intelligence. You know what I mean?
He really
like
is.
children
And
at
so
some
he
point
said,
kids do
so
that.
this was his suggestion. He said, "Listen, you don't normally stream on Fridays, but we could stream on Friday night because you normally stream at night.
My
Let's stream at night instead of the day." I said, "And I can show you around Roblox. You've never streamed Roblox. I'm pretty sure that's pretty popular on Twitch. And then you could just do something after, 'cause I'm going to want to play with my buddies." I said,
He's a genius.
I said, "Okay,
man.
dude, let's play Roblox." That was exactly, I promise you, that's exactly how that conversation went down
Wow.
with my 9-year-old, almost 10-year-old son. And we played Roblox together. I highlighted it. I put it on YouTube because then he's like shares it with his buddies at school, because all I do on my YouTube channel is basically just him and I playing
Yep,
clips
yep.
of me
Sure.
playing. So he just thinks it's the coolest thing, because he thinks being like kids his age, they think being a YouTuber or a streamer is like the coolest
Yeah.
thing. And he has made it a thing. He's like, "Dad, we need to get you partnered this year." He gets partnered in 2021.
That's fucking amazing.
It's pretty funny,
Dude,
man. And my son is he's a good boy.
Yeah, the highlight of that stream for me was when your son, or I think you brought it up, that he was grounded for a little while from Fortnite because he was smack talking. And he provided all the places where he heard the smack talking where it had come from. But what he alluded to point out was that you weren't one of those people that he was influenced by for the smack talking, Jimmy.
No, I wasn't, because he was not a watcher of anything that I've ever done, like any smack talking or streaming. He was watching these Fortnite YouTubers that he was just emulating what they were doing, is what it came down to. And we caught him, and we busted him on it. We took away, we grounded him for Fortnite and like a couple of weeks.
Was it bad?
Him, he had no Fortnite for a couple of weeks.
Can you tell us what he said or no?
I honestly, it wasn't terrible. No. It was just it was mean. It was mean.
Get shit on, pussy.
No, it wasn't anything super bad that he said. It was just he was being mean. That was the issue. It was mean-hearted. It wasn't because he was saying anything that was super bad. It was because he was not being nice to the guys he was playing with.
I like that.
And so we took away Fortnite and his computer for we took away Fortnite for his computer for an entire week. Mm-hmm. We took away Fortnite for 2 weeks. We gave him his computer back after a week. He wasn't allowed to play Fortnite for two whole weeks.
Wow. Yeah. Dude, in 20 years from now, this clip is going to be on the internet, and they're going to be like, they took away his computer? That's abuse.
Seriously.
I gave him that computer, man. I built that computer myself.
See, Dad, who built computers, takes it away from child who wants to win in Fortnite. He ruined his career in gaming.
It was a good experience for him to learn. Yeah. It made him understand how he can. It was a good thing because he realized he can't just be talking to people.
He can't be
like an asshole on the internet. You just can't. You can't be toxic.
Do you? What's the state of children and cursing in schools right now? Are they allowed? Is it not? Is it punished?
I mean, in high school, if a kid curses in my class, I tell them to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get out of hand, I'll remove them. But it usually doesn't have that as an issue. I mean, it's because occasionally I'll slip one. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, I'm never cursing at any kid, obviously.
Right.
And I would say that the general state is don't do it. If a kid, most of the kids that do it in class are kids that have some type of
defiant disorder.
Some type of disorder that caused them to do it. I have a kid that has Tourette's, for example, and he will just say "fuck" randomly
oh, shit.
in class. And we'll be taking a test.
Yeah.
Fuck! Whoa!
That's funny because that's exactly what I would do
You need to go
when
outside,
I was taking
man.
tests.
I mean, but wouldn't you love to just be able to be like, Jonathan, stop being such a little fucking bitch and go do your work. We're mouthing off like a stupid little ass.
I used to think that way, Knackers, until I had been teaching for a long enough time and to realize just how varied everyone is, man. I've run the gamut of different types of students. And that has helped expand my patience because I know just how many different things there are there that people deal with.
Sure. But just a solid hey, Sally, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to teach.
Oh, I think that all the time, bro. I'm not saying that I don't think that.
Don't you want to be able to say it?
There are kids that I want to just look at them and be like, hey, I need you to shut the fuck up. So I can finish I have kids that want to interrupt me while I'm lecturing and not even raise their hand, just blurt out. And I'm like, stop it. First of all, I'm not addressing you. I'm teaching. If you have a question, raise your hand. And when I can stop and address you, I will. But even at age 15 and 16, you still have kids that want to just interrupt and cut you off while you're
right
teaching.
now, like me doing this now.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real thing. It's a very real thing. And it makes it really yours. If you're a good teacher, you know how to handle that.
Sure.
But bad teachers don't know how to handle that, and it can derail an entire lesson,
Well, do you guys want to bless the audience with a podcast that is less than 2 hours long, and we can just wrap this up?
Can we clap now?
Fingers in the clap.
Oh, I hear claps. We're using TeamSpeak this week, by the way.
Wow. I can't believe we've done it. This might be one of the first and only under 2 hour podcasts we've ever done.
It might be. However, we did get one final question that was very, very important. Will Jimmy actually fall into the bushes tonight?
No
more bush.
I got to work tomorrow. I actually have a dermatologist appointment and I don't know what's happened. So when I fell in the bushes the last time, I got either a sliver into this thumb or I now have a wart on this thumb. I don't know which. So I have to go to the dermatologist tomorrow, and they're either going to pull out the sliver, if that's what it is, or they're going to cut out the wart.
It could be bubonic plague. Gotta be careful.
Could be bubonic plague.
Yeah.
But I have a dermatology appointment tomorrow that I got to take care of that.
I guess I always thought dermatology was for face stuff. I didn't know that was for just like
all your skin. No, skin.
I've never been to one.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. The science of face, the medicine of face.
Well, I mean, I guess like
Deemer.
Winnie doesn't need to go anywhere for facial. She gets that at home. So I just kind of assume
She gets that from you.
Hey, does everyone sound like robots right now, or is it just me?
What?
Everyone sounds like robots for me. Am I a robot?
You are not a robot.
No,
What the hell is happening?
your internet sucks.
Yeah,
fuck you.
hey,
Portland.
fuck your internet, man. Reset your fucking modem, dude.
All right. Well, hey, let's go around the room, reintroduce ourselves, and we'll get the fuck out of here pre 2 hour.
All right.
Bishop, you go first.
Hello, my name is BishopGP, aka Elliot Bishop. You can find me on Twitch at BishopGP, or on Twitter at BishopWasHere, or on TikTok at BishopGP. Send me some TikToks, man. Just send me some TikToks.
Thank you for sending me
funny.
TikToks.
Did you see that one that I sent you today? Nice little TikTok. That guy, I like that guy. I like that guy. He's doing like an opposite meta of what the meta is.
Yes.
To then reuse the meta for his own benefit. Okay.
Remeta.
But yeah. Yep, that's where you can find me. You can also find me in Knacker's chat or Jimmy's chat from time to time. God bless you, and have a great rest of your weekend and next week.
Have a great rest of your first year quarter.
Yeah, the second quarter. Q2. Q2.
Yo, my name is Jimmy, aka Jimbles, aka MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on twitch.tv/MiddleAgedStream or MiddleAgedStream on Twitter without the D.
Ooh.
I am continuing my self-flagellation through Dark Souls 2 this week, starting again on Tuesday. It'll be day 10. I've beaten 2 of the big bad bosses in the game. There's a couple more. And it's a bunch of bullshit, that game is. But you know what? I'm still having fun, so it's all good. I've learned that if you want to have good internet, just remember to reset your router when things go bad.
And
Stay away from Cox.
And also, don't be a boomer.
And
I don't know where you're going with this.
you literally forgot to mention the same thing that you made fun of your boomer stepfather for not resetting.
Modem.
There you go. You said router only. You didn't say.
Oh, I meant to say.
God damn it, Jimmy.
The boomer triangle is complete.
God damn it! I would have reset the modem. Okay, I'm just telling you. If it was me,
You would have done
I
that in
would've
2 seconds,
gotten
man.
it.
Just unplug everything. Just fucking rip it all out of the wall.
you know what he
man.
told me why he didn't? You know why he said? He said, "Well, if I unplug the modem, then the phone line goes dead."
Yeah, because you need a constant. You can't be out without phones for 2 minutes.
Can't be without that landline for 10 seconds, man. That robocall that's gonna come through we might miss it. We might fucking miss it. God damn it.
God. All right, well, dudes, hey, thank you very much for stopping by for the podcast, giving me your time. Awesome show. I've been trying to do a little bit more focused conversation instead of just react Andy to news and stuff, and it was nice to be able to just converse and figure out if I was fucked up or if you were fucked up or if we had stepsisters.
They were stuck. Yep.
Yeah, big stocks, dude. So you both have a fantastic night. And everybody in chat, hope you all have a wonderful week. Be safe. Get yourself a fat-ass sandwich out there. Wear protection. Wear your mask. And last but not least...
Stay away from Cox. Communications.
What would my last but not least be? Like, if you all had to address this community, our 3,000 live viewers for the last time, what is the last thing that you would leave them with today?
Don't fucking be carrying a heavy TV on a floor that has soap on it with your bare feet.
Don't get too serious, man. Just enjoy life, enjoy products, enjoy streaming, enjoy just being yourself on the internet, man. It's a fun place. Play games, enjoy them. Quit fucking around.
Yeah,
Quit
yours
bitching,
was less
man.
specific.
Yeah, quit fucking bitching on the internet. You guys are crybabies. That's it, man. Also, Knackers is bald.
Don't be. So yours is basically don't be a bitch.
Yeah, quit
I
bitching.
felt like you both came up with yours really, really quickly, and I'm a little sad.
Yeah, just
I don't know, man. I mean, you said you got to do it right now, so I just
You just came up
did
with
it.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
What are you gonna do?
last,
Life's ending now. I got to do
the
it.
best thing about last words is when you're very just basic about it, like just light, just enjoy yourself,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Why you gotta be? Why is everything gotta be like a big?
A big fucking
Like
parade.
fucking-
You don't need to tell everyone everything that you feel. You just
You don't have
gotta
to be Yoda right
Yeah.
now, knackers. Jesus Christ. Be more like David Hasselhoff and less like Yoda.
I'll be back.
Be more the hump.
I'll be back.
Here's
That's
something.
David
Here's something.
Hasselhoff.
The same meat that's in a hamburger is in sausage.
You know that there's hairs
Really?
in sausage.
Oh my god! There's a fucking.
Oh my God! You want to come
child!
here? Come here. Hey, come here. Hey, we wanted to talk to you. This is my son Frankie. He was streaming with me last week. This will be the bonus. This will be the bonus portion of the podcast. If you guys want to ask Frankie a question or two in the next 2 minutes in chat, I will read them to my son. This is the bonus.
Can you
All right,
floss?
okay?
Can you do the
But I'm
going
gonna let Knackers and Bishop talk.
Oh
to them,
no!
and I'll read.
Dude, oh god, no, no,
not
no,
responsible
no! Please
adults.
don't,
This is
please,
not
please.
bad.
Yo, what's up,
Hey,
homie?
what's up, bud?
Down.
Hello.
All right.
Hey, we saw
Here we
you.
go.
We saw you playing Roblox, man. Was that a fun time?
All right.
Yeah, it
You are
was
now
pretty fun time.
you're now part of the podcast. You are now okay. We need to fix that.
All right.
Okay. There we
What's
go.
your
All right. We got it.
What was your favorite moment
Got it.
of the
You ready for
Roblox
that?
stream?
It was probably the All-Star Tower Defense.
Yeah.
I thought it was really
Yeah,
fun.
you're doing like 1,000 damage with. I think it was Goku, right?
It was Deku.
Oh, Deku. My apologies.
All right, I got a question. What is the next color that you want to dye your hair?
Mm, probably purple.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Would you ever consider doing like a complete blonde, like bleaching all of your hair and going completely blonde?
No,
No.
I like my dark hair.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
okay.
fair.
Fair enough, man. If there's one thing Jimmy or your dad has taught you about gaming, what is it?
To never give up.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm gonna cry, man. I'm gonna cry right now.
What's the most embarrassing thing that you can think of that has happened to your dad?
Oh gosh. I don't know right now. I can't get anything.
Okay.
I saw him fall underneath the bridge on the before the tower defense thing, and he got lost. He like
Oh yeah. that. One embarrassing thing was when I carried him in Lego Star Wars.
Get wrecked, Jimbo.
Okay, well, last question from me. What is one game that you will never be able to beat him at, and what is one game that he will never be able to beat you at?
Okay. One game I will never be able to beat him at is 100% Battletoads.
Okay.
No questions asked. And the game that I will be able to beat him at is 100% Roblox, Fortnite. I can go on. So,
Every other
Oh,
game.
so many. Keep going.
Open-ended
okay,
list.
Lego Star Wars, Lego superheroes, Lego DC supervillains.
Just open the
Want me to
list.
continue?
Yeah, please. No, keep going. Yeah.
Injustice 2, Injustice. What else?
Every video game known to man.
Dark Souls.
All right, I got one more question for you, Frankie. Does your dad fart in public?
I can't count how many.
What? Say it into the microphone.
I can't count how many.
That'll wrap it up, man. We got it.
Amazing. All right, well, thank you very much for coming on to the end of the podcast, Frankie.
Thanks, Frankie. You're the man, dude. What a legend, dude.
Punch your dad
What
in
a
the
legend.
belly. Punch him in the belly for me. Just hit him really quick. Punch him in the belly.
Take his legs. Aw.
Yeah!
Ah. He's about to do hip toss.
Oh, I was waiting for him to like choke slam him into the bed real quick. Just like,
Ah. So he just suplexes Jimmy like.
you've trained him well. I tried to get him to give you up about embarrassing moment, and he faked it. He's like, oh, I can't think of anything right now. I'll remember that.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man.
Dude, that guy's
he's
a
good
legend,
kid.
man. What a legend.
Good kid.
Okay, we asked him what is one thing about gaming your dad has taught you, and he said never to give up. So that's
It's true.
it's a good.
I've told him, man, like, dude, if you get like, hey, there's always a second chance. The great thing about video games is you don't have to worry about lives. You can just keep trying.
This is true. All right, everybody, thank you so much for checking out the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast this week. It was fantastic to see you all. There are actually 2 podcasts scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday at 9 p.m., we actually have Wizard CM, who is the community manager for OBS and also helps develop for OBS. So if you guys have questions about OBS that you want, excuse me, OBS, correct. And then on Sunday at 9, we have a podcast with T-Rex, who is a friend, a fellow streamer on the platform, and that should be a great episode as well.
He's got a legendary voice.
He does have a great voice.
He does have a
The
great
little
voice.
jelly of it, to be honest.
I might have to poke him in the butt.
All right, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.